The season starts in October, so I decided to make a video on my top 20 players in the NBA. Now, if you disagree with this list, you don't have to hit the dislike button. If you enjoy the video, even though you disagree somewhat in the list, you can go ahead and hit the like button. Anyways, you might be confused why Klay Thompson won't be on this list, but I can't just judge someone because he hasn't even played in 2 years. Normally Klay would be on a top 30 list, but I can't put him in this list just like that. Anyways, cue the intro. Chris Paul is my number 20. And yes, he has had a great impact for the Phoenix Suns, but even when they made it to the NBA Finals in Game 4, Chris Paul lost the ball and got a turnover. Chris Paul had a lot of turnovers in the NBA Finals, and he crumbled down a little bit in the NBA Finals, especially in Game 4 when they had to win the game very, very badly. All of the players ahead of him, in my opinion, are better players, and that's why I have Chris Paul at number 20. Now at number 19, we have Zach LaVine. Now Zach LaVine had 25 points per game, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds this past season. Zach LaVine is doing great, and I have him at number 19. A lot of the players ahead of him are probably better than him, but why do we have to wait till players like Trae Young and players like Devin Booker make it to the NBA playoffs? Players like Trae Young and Devin Booker have always been this good, and now that they made it to the NBA playoffs, apparently they have got better. But that's not the point, because they are winners and they won a lot in the NBA playoffs. And that's why I have Zach LaVine. He has a great supporting cast now, and Zach LaVine is a great player, and he's going to lead his team to the 6th seed in the East. Now at number 18, I have Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler did not do great in the playoffs. He did pretty bad, and honestly, it's pretty easy to defend him. I mean, yes, he's a strong, great player, but in the NBA, players are so great. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be able to defend him because he would wreck me, but players in the NBA, if there's a good defender, I feel like they could be able to defend him. All he really does is draw fouls, and that's really all Jimmy Butler can do. Can't really shoot the 3-ball or the mid-range. At least he's better at mid-range, but, the only threat of him is him going to the lane, and that's why he's only averaging about 14 points per game in the playoffs. At number 17, I have Trae Young. I mean, Trae Young needs the respect he deserves. Trae Young has been playing great in the NBA playoffs and even made it to the conference finals past Joel Embiid in the Philadelphia 76ers. No one even expected Trae Young to get past the first round of the NBA playoffs. And Trae Young has already got past that. So now that has happened, Trae Young has been playing great basketball for the Atlanta Hawks. And honestly, Trae Young really deserves this spot. At number 16, I have Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell, he's good in the playoffs, but his partner, Rudy Gobert, he's not the best defender in terms of perimeter defense, although he really won Defensive Player of the Year. But, Donovan Mitchell, he's still a great player, but I can't put him over Devin Booker because, he did not make it that far in the NBA playoffs, but I still will put him here. Devin Booker, in my opinion, had just a teeny tiny more talent and led his team to the NBA Finals. Now, look, Donovan Mitchell, his supporting cast is not an NBA Finals team, but I still think Donovan Mitchell is a great player and he deserves to be at number 16. And next is obviously Devin Booker at number 15. Booker is a great player and led his team to the NBA Finals, and I think is better than all of these guards that are on this list, except for Kyrie Irving and Paul George and Damian Lillard. Kyrie Irving, I think, is better than Devin Booker because I just think he has, better ball handling, better shooter, and a better passer in my opinion. I just think that Kyrie Irving is a better three-way scorer, and I think that Kyrie Irving has a little bit more talent than a guy like Devin Booker. And number 13 is Paul George. Paul George is a better player than Kyrie Irving, and this was a tough one, but I have Paul George over Kyrie Irving because Paul George in the playoffs was really, really good. He, did a great job leading his team to the conference finals without Kawhi Leonard. Yes, he's not the best player on the Clippers, but Paul George is still a great player, and I think he proved to all of us that he can play great in the NBA playoffs. And as of this year, I have him at number 13. At number 12 is Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is an amazing player. He dropped 50 points and is carrying the Boston Celtics team. None of these players that I've said by far are better than Jason Tatum. None of them are better than Jason Tatum, except Damian Lillard, who is next on this list. Damian Lillard, he's just been carrying the Portland Trailblazers for many, many years, and I just gotta give him major props. I mean, how long can you be on this team that doesn't even make any off-season moves? I mean, they are losers in the off-season. So, I have Damian Lillard at 11. At number 10 on this list, I have Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a great player, but this season he's had an injury-riddled season. I think next season he could be something like number 7, but because it's this season he's had an injury-riddled season and he's not had the best season, I have Anthony Davis at number 10. At number 9 on this list, I have Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is not as good as a guy like Nikola Jokic because Embiid, he can't take his team as far in the playoffs as Nikola Jokic. They were in the MVP race, but I think Jokic had a better season. And without Jamal Murray, he led his team to the second round. So, Jokic is slightly better than Joel Embiid. And I won't be mad at you if you say Joel Embiid is better than Jokic. Now at number 7, I have Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic led his team to the NBA playoffs and almost beat the LA Clippers. He's just amazing, and he's going to get better and better. And maybe even soon become the face of the league. At number 6, I have James Harden. James Harden is a little bit better than these guys. James Harden and Luka Doncic are very, very close. But I just think right now, currently, James Harden is a little bit better. I try not to be biased, but if I was biased, I would put James Harden at number 5. But I'm not biased, and I'm going to put James Harden at number 6. At number 5, I have Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is a great player, but he had an injury-riddled season, especially in the playoffs he got injured. I don't think he's as healthy as a guy like Giannis, so I have him at number 5. At least this NBA season, I have him there. At number 4, I have Steph Curry. Steph Curry is a great NBA player, was in the MVP conversation, and completely carried the Golden State Warriors to the play-in tournament. Steph Curry was a great player for the Golden State Warriors, and he deserves to have this spot. Now, sadly, number 3 is LeBron James. Slowly, he's declining in the NBA, and we hate to see that. And still, I think LeBron James is going to be a great player, but as of this season, I think he is more injury-prone than Kevin Durant this season. and not as good as a scorer as Kevin Durant or a defender, so that's why I have LeBron James at number 3. Now, I was really tempted to put Kevin Durant at number 1 after his playoff heroics, but I had to put him at number 2, right behind Giannis. Giannis is a great NBA player, led his team to the finals, won the championship, and 50 points in a closeout game. He deserves this spot. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and peace out.